Welcome to April 2023. It's a gorgeous autumn day today, so I thought I'd sit outside to do my recording. I hope it's a lovely sunny day where you are too. So I'm Tracy, the Waikato Health and Wellness Facilitator, and this month our topic is listening to your body. So, in our modern world, humans reside more in their heads and minds and have become increasingly disconnected from their bodies. In Western medicine, the brain is often viewed as being separate from our bodies. However, the brain affects our body and our bodies affect our brain. They are both highly interconnected. And our bodies talk to us all the time. We get butterflies in the tummy when we're nervous. Our breaths become shallow when we're anxious, or you may feel wind caught up under your rib cage. Our stomach feels like a knot when we are worried, and our bladder very quickly tells us when it's full. We experience pain in our shoulders and in our jaw when we are tense, or we may even grind our teeth when we are stressed. We may get pain in our hands if we've eaten something that we're sensitive to, and thanks to our lovely nerve endings, our body tells us when a blister is forming on our feet, when we have a paper cut on our fingers, and when we unintentionally walk through a patch of stinging nettle. Quite frankly, the body has a lot to say if we take the time to listen. Listening to the body encourages an evaluation of what our bodies are holding and gives us clarity concerning what our bodies need. It encourages an evaluation of what physically manifests from the emotional, mental, and physical experiences of our daily lives. However, if we very easily become distracted from what our bodies are telling us, and it can become easy to ignore our bodies through the busyness of our days, which, attending to the children's needs, our partner's needs, our housework, work, and being absorbed in our TV shows and our online lives. Even as I wrote my notes for this topic, I couldn't help but laugh at myself, I have to say, that I do fall into this category of humans also. I feel like I kind of drag my body around behind my head all day, every day. And I guess I can liken it really to, I don't know, a tail wagging on a dog. That's sort of how disconnected I've become. I've become very aware of that. However, your body likely knows that something is wrong well before we do. So, listening to and acting on your body's signals will enable you to identify your choices about what you need to do to support your health in the best possible way. Thinking about and noticing your dashboard lights is a concept Dr. Bruce Arroll often refers to as being the very first sign you notice, which can be considered as a warning bell. To use this concept in ME, chronic fatigue, and fibro terms, noticing your dashboard lights can be considered a warning bell that you are exceeding your energy envelope, a warning bell that an adrenaline surge is about to kick in, or a flare is about to happen, or a crash is about to occur. For some, it may be noticing brain fog or a general feeling of vagueness or not feeling with it. Others may start to notice that they struggle to find their words or have an inability to speak audibly. For others, it may be noticing that your vision suddenly becomes blurry, or a sudden onset of headache and sudden onset of light and sound intolerance. For others, it may be a sore throat or raised glands, or for others, it may be itchy skin or a new pain in the body. Your symptoms may actually not change at all, apart from just actually become more intense. So a dashboard light may be just an increase in pain. What's your dashboard light? It's really important to note here too that a sudden onset of fatigue is most probably not a dashboard light. It will be the result of not listening to an earlier warning sign. Can you identify any changes that occur prior to the drop in energy? That is where the key is, and that's where the power is. So it's identifying before you become fatigued a sensation or a change in your symptoms. The importance of listening to your body and noticing your dashboard lights is so that you can act before you go into a full-blown flare or crash. So you can act to avoid post-exertion malaise. For most people, the act is to stop and do what you're doing, down tools and rest up. For others, it may be switching between tasks from a cognitive task to a physical task or vice versa. Acting appropriately at this time enables you to attend to adjusting your autonomic nervous system from the flight and fight state, which is your sympathetic nervous system, to the rest and digest state, which is your parasympathetic nervous system, as quickly as possible. And so, in other words, to act upon your dashboard lights will enable you to avoid or stop further sliding into a stress response that negatively affects your health. I'd suggest you have a look at our website. We have notes on there called Stress. They were made in February 2022, and that explains a stress response. Really interesting information to know. Ask your health and wellness facilitator to email them out if you can't find them, but it's probably worthwhile looking at those. So for our CFS community and fibro community, it's vitally important to stay as much as possible in the parasympathetic nervous system state, which is your rest and digest state, as this is where healing happens. This is the healing state. So there's lots of ways that you can listen to your body, and here are some ideas. We've just spoken about dashboard lights, and that is that typical symptom that you notice when you're starting to push beyond your energy envelope. But what I want you to start to think about now and start to see if you can notice is there any other sensations prior to that symptom starting? That is another warning sign that you're nearing the edge of your energy envelope, because that really is key. Taking regular time out in nature to reflect and notice and attend to your body and health are also very important. So breathing, just taking a few deep, steady breaths can help you tune in and focus on your body momentarily throughout the day to check in. And while you're there, notice. Notice, is your body hungry? Is it dehydrated? Does it ache? Do you need to do some stretches? Does your body need some rest? Can you think straight at the moment? So perhaps you might need to close your eyes for a little while. Is your body holding some tension? If so, where and why? And how can you release this tension? Does your body need some more sunlight or maybe some fresh air? So those are some things that you can consider while you're stopping and noticing. Mindfulness is also another great tool to use to help you become aware of your emotional states that may need acknowledging and releasing. So be mindful of how you respond to stress is also quite important too. What are some of your typical behaviours when you're stressed? Once you become aware of these, then you can do something about it to help minimise the impacts of stress. I've just learnt this myself just recently, that when I get that feeling of, oh, I just really can't be bothered, is a sure sign of stress. And I've also noticed that the behaviour that generally accompanies that feeling is sitting on the couch surfing Netflix. And I can sit there for hours. So now that I'm aware of that, I can now stop myself in my tracks and actually do something about it to help minimize the impacts of stress. Regular practices of yoga and meditation and any other relaxation practices that work for you are also fantastic tools. And have a look at our website. My colleague Annabelle, she has got some amazing restorative movement and yoga videos there if you're at a loss as to what to do. And if meditation's not really for you, then try and find a sense of inner stillness some other way. Getting out into nature can help you find that space of inner silence and solitude within yourself. Just sit still and be in full awareness of the vibrancy of life that nature has to offer, and merge with the pulse of life that is animated in the breeze and radiated by the sun. If you cannot get into nature, then try visualization techniques such as you're on a tropical island, swinging in a hammock under a palm tree, that's always a good one, or sitting on a rock deep in nature in a leafy green forest by a serene, clear body of water. And while you're sitting there, sitting in your inner stillness, listen to what your body has to say. This is the perfect time to give a little inward hug, a little appreciation of love and kindness. So don't be afraid to have a wee chat to your body. I quite often talk to my body. I'm sure people might think I'm a bit mad, but it is amazing what it has to say. And it's amazing the responses you get. And while I'm there, I often give my body a little hug and a little bit of gratitude and a little bit of love, and just say thank you. Thank you for all it does for me. So don't be afraid to do that. That is also really important. Writing a health journal or health diary is another way to check in with yourself. Note in your diary how it feels after movement, or after eating certain foods, or how you feel after rest. Note in your diary your activity levels, your pain levels, and your energy levels on scales from 0 to 10. The idea here is to aim for having higher energy levels and lower activity levels, not the other way around. Pictured here is a weekly diary that enables you to note every hour of every day of the week when you have been attending to different tasks and how you respond. So using colour coding to indicate the different tasks, you could perhaps use a red cross on the hours of the day and week to highlight when you have been working at quite high activity tasks, mentally or physically. Then perhaps use a blue cross to note the hours of the day or week when you have been attending to low or medium activity. Green crosses can highlight the time of day when you experience an increase in symptoms. And perhaps use an emoji signal to show what your mood is. And then use a black cross to indicate the times of day or the days of the week when you have been experiencing post-exertion malaise. This practice can help to paint a picture of your patterns and highlight triggers, and also highlight if you have times of the day when your energy is at its best or at its lowest. Completing a health journal can be done during the times when you are taking the time to reflect and to relax. Sorry about the change in background. It got a little bit breezy out there, so I've had to come inside. So it is important to note here that for many of you, listening to your body and noticing your dashboard lights will be a game changer for you in regards to energy, managing your energy envelope. For those of you still figuring out the boundaries of your energy envelope, you'll find the concept of listening to your body and understanding your dashboard lights is the next best thing to help manage your health. Noticing your dashboard lights will help you implement practices of pacing so much better, which will help in managing the fluctuations of energy and other symptoms, which will help to stabilize your health. However, for some of you, noticing your body may bring about triggers of historical traumas and rememberings that may catch you off guard. So it's important to mention here that when feelings of discomfort arise, it may be repressed trauma coming up that needs to be processed. It is okay to feel this, so allow these feelings to arise, just notice them, observe them without judgment or reaction, and breathe. If closing your eyes brings discomfort, focus your attention by noticing 3 things you can see, 3 things you can hear, and 3 things that you can feel. This is how we bring ourselves back into the now when we're being triggered. It's a grounding exercise for when we're feeling overwhelmed. Massage your ears into your earlobes and around the side of your neck, rubbing your hands together and gentle rocking and tapping your sternum are some other things that you can do when you feel overwhelmed. These are simple ideas to calm the stress response and bring you back to the rest and digest state. If tears spring up out of nowhere, that is okay too and is very, very normal. It is okay to release the emotion. Sometimes the tears may not make sense, and that is okay too. Noticing how you feel in this space. Acknowledge the feeling and ask, what do I need right now? The answer may surprise you, and you may receive some information that you do not normally receive. Please know that any discomfort that comes up is good to release. It means that you are human and that you are now connecting to your body, and now you can take control of it. This is a good time to thank your body for all it has gone through. It continues to do the things it does despite the trauma, despite your health concerns. It is a survivor and continues to carry you throughout your day. So always remember to thank your body. So we've now come to the end of this presentation. I hope you've enjoyed it. If any concerns or questions come up for you, please do not hesitate to contact your health and wellbeing facilitator. We'll see you next time.